All right. Now, in going into this, you mentioned being on guard duty at night. How commonly were you on guard duty, and how did that work?
Um, I'd have to guess. Seems to me it was every 2 to 3 months, something like that. Because officers always have additional other duties. The thing about guard duty that amazed me, because you don't know what everybody else is doing and you don't know what everybody else's job is, because I'd scramble and get my aircraft. I had my gun with me all the time. And I'm going out to outer fire bases. And these guys got their guns with them all the time because they're out there. Most of the guys that were on the base that I was assigned to, Artillery Hill and Pleiku, didn't have their gun. They had a card in their billfold to go to the armory and get their gun. And I'm going, what? And I never realized that till I'm pulling guard duty. And I'm talking with the sergeant of the guard, the guy that's going to be assigned with me for the night, finding out a bit about this. Because if you're an officer and you don't use your sergeant, you're dumber than a box of rocks. And I'm checking with him. So I told him, I said, do me a favor. Inspect the troops, do what you want to do, go through all your command and ceremony, and then tell the guys to fall out, and I want them to gather around. And he did that. I got them gathered around, and I says, guys, I know I've been going through the book. I know the SOP. This is one of my first times pulling guard duty. They weren't to unlock their ammo bunker. They have a footlocker in there with their ammo in it, the detonators for the mines that are out in the barbed wire. They weren't to unlock that bunker until they were given orders from either the sergeant of the guard or the officer of the guard. Imagine standing guard duty with an empty gun in Vietnam. And I'm going, no. Anyway, I just told the guys, gather around. I says, I know the SOP. I wouldn't pull guard duty with an empty gun. I don't expect you to. I says, if you fire your gun, there better be a blood trail or a body in the wire, because I won't swing alone. Mm-hmm. Am I clear? They go, yeah. I go, okay. And I then told them to go ahead and go on out. He says, now I will be up all night. If you have any trouble, you call me. Another thing you get down from my wife, I'll go into now. Mm-hmm. I turned to the sergeant, and because I was an officer, I wasn't allowed to do maintenance on the vehicles. So normally the sergeant would be up all night driving the vehicle around, and there was a bunk bed in the command building that I could sleep in. Well, I'm a pilot. If I'm up all night, they can't fly me all day the next day unless it's a combat situation. Mm-hmm. So I told the sergeant, I said, you got one or two choices. You can either stay up all night and drive me, or you can give me the keys and use that cot, and I'll know where you are. He looks at me and he says, you serious, sir? I said, uh-huh. Tomorrow, you'll have to go to work. Up all night and have to go to work all day tomorrow. I'll sleep till noon and then go in. So he gave me the keys. And I don't sneak up on the guys on the perimeter. I tell them I'm coming. I'll be on one perimeter. I'll call the next guard tower and tell them I'm coming. Well, while I was out there, the one tower calls out and they say, we're having trouble. People are coming out from our side up to the tower where they don't belong, and they're harassing them and causing difficulty. I said, okay. I said, now I'm going to come and I'm going to drive up to the bunker, to the guard tower next to you. I'll have my lights off, the whole bit. I'm going to walk over to you then. Challenge me, do whatever you want, but I'm telling you I'm coming. Don't be shooting me. Okay. So I come over there, and I'm on this tower. I'd been there 15, 20 minutes, and sure enough, somebody came over from the NCO club. Mm-hmm. That's where it looked like they came from, over to the tower. And they challenged him, and he responded with some blue, I would say, words, and turned the air kind of blue. And he ignored them and came over and started to climb up the ladder to the bunker. I cocked and locked my .45. Halt. He says, who the blankety blank are you? I said, I'm Warrant Officer Frank A. Anthony, officer of the guard, and you want to identify yourself or get shot. And he's just all of a sudden at a complete halt, just on the ladder there. I'm Sergeant so-and-so. Do you want to live? Yes, sir. I suggest you get the hell off my bunker and don't come back. Yes, sir. And he got down off the bunker and didn't come back. I then unloaded my .45, put the round back in the magazine, put it back in my gun, put it back in my holster. The guys in the bunker said, "You just shot him." I said, "Yep, and you should have too." Mm-hmm. And they looked at me. But I said, "You didn't have any ammo, did you?" But that's the story Mom wanted me to tell you. He'd come out drunk, and he just knew they weren't supposed to have ammo. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what he thought he was going to do out there, and I don't know what he thought he was doing. But there's 3 guys on the tower, and if they're paying more attention to him and what's going on, and he could have been the barber. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's dark. This was at night, and there are some people that are still on the base at night. We took them in. I don't remember what time the old club closed, but every once in a while I'd go in with the girls in the deuce and a half and take all of them back to the center of town. And there were a number of Vietnamese that were still on the base till quite late at night. And we'd take them back after dark. I don't know who this is. You can tell me the sergeant, but I don't know if this... Now, he did have rather impeccable English for Vietnamese. Usually they had a little trouble with it. So, I don't know if I'd aimed dead center mass or not, but I'd have shot him. No doubt in my mind about that. Mm-hmm. But